A blockbuster trade for the Las Vegas Raiders. They are trading for star receiver Davante Adams, and they are making him the highest paid receiver in NFL history.
We got going right away. Obviously I redshirted, but we were putting in work off the field, in practice. Even though I wasn't playing that year, I was making sure I was getting reps with them and feeling the same way. And I just knew we had a connection right off.
Get out there, I would love for Derek to get on the other side, just so I could show the world what it looks like when a regular person, and as I say regular, I hope this is the camera that he sees, a regular person gets out there and covers a crafted wide receiver. He's not quite ready for me.
I decided to begin filming the absurd situations I get placed in whenever I get breaking news, just so I could show you what I have to leave in order to run home and make these videos. Obviously with a smile on my face, but still, I felt like you guys would like it. So if you didn't hear, Davante Adams just got traded, and there's a lot to this backstory that I want to cover with you guys because it's not as black and white as you think. Before we get to the content, we're giving away $500 to a subscriber that turns on our notifications on this channel. We're giving away another $500 to a follower of ours on Instagram. Now that we get all that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Over a week ago, the Green Bay Packers had a truly phenomenal day because Aaron Rodgers came out and reaffirmed his commitment to the Green Bay Packers. Now, the issue with this is the fact that he signed a gigantic contract with the Green Bay Packers. But don't worry, his cap hit was reduced to $28 million in his first season with the team. His cap hit gets reduced from $46.7 million to $28.5 million in his first season with the team. Then it turns to $31.6 million in 2023, then $40.7 million in 2024. He signed a deal that essentially made him a Packer for life, and it's already done. The ink is on the paper. Aaron Rodgers is staying. Ultimately, you would think that he is staying because he felt like, one, the Green Bay Packers were going to pay him the best, and that is true. He's getting $150 million guaranteed as a result of this deal. But two, it seems like it is his best opportunity to win a Super Bowl. They've come really close the past couple of years. He has a pretty strong rapport with Davante Adams. He has a solid stable of wide receivers. He has Matt LaFleur, who has done a great job game planning around him. So for the most part, you would think, okay, let's run it back with the same exact pieces that we have. That's not what's happening. As a matter of fact, the exact opposite is happening because we got some breaking news from Adam Schefter that I am a little late to. Sorry, I was listening to the Megillah. It's Purim. I don't know how many Jewish followers I have, but yeah, I was doing my little obligation there. But the Packers are trading Pro Bowl wide receiver Davante Adams to the Las Vegas Raiders for 2 prime 2022 picks, league sources tell ESPN. Now, initially, I know what you guys might be thinking because this is what I was thinking. Adam Schefter would then continue by saying that it is expected that the Raiders and Davante Adams will be able to work out a long-term agreement to keep him in Las Vegas, where he now will be reunited with his Fresno State quarterback, Derek Carr. Now, you might be wondering, how much is Davante Adams getting paid? Well, according to Ian Rappaport, Davante Adams is getting a contract that's worth $141.25 million over 5 years. Sources say he gets an average of $28.25 million per year. Now, Rapshi would also say that Las Vegas was going to send back a first-round pick, potentially more picks, and a player. Rappaport also continues to say something that I thought was fairly adorable, that Davante Adams, who, by the way, is the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history, just purchased a house in Las Vegas next to his new QB, Derek Carr. The trade has been quietly in the works for days, with the Packers and Raiders finalizing details. The contract extension has been worked out. The deal is expected to be completed, barring any late snags. Now, you might be wondering, okay, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm feeling a little bit betrayed here, but here's the thing. Aaron Rodgers knew that this was going to happen. As a matter of fact, according to Ian Rappaport, while Aaron Rodgers was negotiating his contract, he knew Davante Adams would never play for the Packers again. The situation was too far gone, something had to give, and when Adams informed Green Bay that he wasn't playing on the tag, talks got fired up, and now Davante Adams will be on the Raiders. Now, later on, we got word that the trade compensation for at least the draft picks was going to be a first-round pick and a second-round pick in this year's NFL draft in exchange for wide receiver Davante Adams. So here's what I'm immediately thinking. One, what is the Green Bay Packers backup plan? Do they look at free agency and say, oh, Antonio Brown and Julio Jones are available. We have Randall Cobb and Alan Lazard. We can't really afford to bring back Davante Adams and pay Aaron Rodgers and make him the highest paid QB in the NFL. Let's trade Davante Adams for a first-round pick and a second-round pick, which, by the way, very good return for Davante Adams, considering the fact that the Cowboys, a sixth-round pick in return for Amari Cooper, which I know, completely different situations. Amari Cooper was kind of like a cap casualty for the Cowboys. Davante Adams was technically the top free agent available this year. I'm really wondering what the backup plan was for the Green Bay Packers. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me to say to Aaron Rodgers, hey, Aaron, come back. We're willing to pay you as much money as possible for you to come back, and we're going to let go of Zadarius Smith and Davante Adams, and just hope that you're able to pull off some sort of Aaron Rodgers magic and bring us to the promised land and win your second Super Bowl with this team. I mean, it just sends a pretty bad message to Packers Nation if there isn't really any contingency plan following this. My assumption is they're going to be pursuing Julio Jones or like Antonio Brown or a player of that caliber, but Julio Jones isn't Davante Adams. Who knows? Julio Jones might not even be able to make it onto the field next season. He dealt with injuries all this past year. There's a reason why the Tennessee Titans cut him. Antonio Brown is a ticking time bomb and very volatile. You never know what it's going to take before he takes off his jersey, leaves you in the middle of a game, and then goes on the Full Send podcast to talk trash about you. Yeah, there's also Jarvis Juice Landry. Maybe you could draft a wide receiver in this year's NFL draft, but you can't convince me that this is a move that you make if you're quote unquote all in and trying to win a Super Bowl. It's not necessarily the greatest look for Aaron Rodgers. I understand his cap hit was reduced this year to $28 million. I know that next year it becomes $31 million. And I know the year after it becomes $40.7 million. But he's also the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. And this is obviously a casualty of him becoming the highest paid QB in the NFL. Also bear in mind that Davante Adams could have been paid this contract by the Green Bay Packers. He specifically chose to go to the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, whether there's something behind the scenes that is causing him to do that, I'm really unsure, because I'm gonna be honest, being a multi-millionaire that's earning $141 million and living in Las Vegas with your former buddy from college as your quarterback sounds like a pretty sweet gig, if I'm being honest. But now we're going to have to turn our eyes to the Green Bay Packers to see what they do to fill the void that Davante Adams is going to leave over. However, for the Las Vegas Raiders, I'm very happy that Derek Carr is officially getting himself a wide receiver. I'm more happy that it's his old pal from Fresno State, Davante Adams. These two had quite a bromance, and it seemed like they wanted to reunite at some point in their NFL careers. This also means that Derek Carr is going to be the quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders for the foreseeable future. I wouldn't see it as any other way. I don't think Davante Adams would have chosen the Las Vegas Raiders over the Green Bay Packers otherwise. I'm just gonna say, man, the Raiders are looking really freaking scary. The AFC West is looking insane at this point. I feel like I say this every single time a team in the AFC West makes some sort of gigantic move, but it's the truth. The Denver Broncos added Russell Wilson. The Kansas City Chiefs are the Kansas City Chiefs and made it to the past 4 AFC championship. The Los Angeles Chargers added Khalil Mack and JC Jackson and Sebastian Joseph Day on the other side of Joey Bosa and retained Mike Williams. This division is going to be absolutely insane, especially considering the fact that now you have Derek Carr and Davante Adams reuniting on the Las Vegas Raiders. Easily my favorite division in all of football. If you're a Packers fan, I really want to know where your head's at, because a part of me is kind of scratching my head at this entire situation. Personally, I would have thought that it would be better to move on from Aaron Rodgers and start the Jordan Love era, as opposed to losing one of your key players and paying Aaron Rodgers a ridiculous sum of money in his late 30s. Bear in mind, you could have gotten a lot of draft picks if you traded Aaron Rodgers. That would have been the perfect way to start your rebuild and try to rebuild around Jordan Love. So I never really quite understood the strategy here, but of course free agency isn't over yet. My take is obviously subject to change. I want to hear what you guys think, especially if you're a Packers fan, in the comment section down below. I'm just looking at my Twitter and a lot of people are mad at Aaron Rodgers currently, especially because he knew about this situation. But aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.